I'm Kendra here.
Hey guys, I'm Sanaya.
And today we have our special guest.
Hi everybody, my name is Trinity. I am an inspiring motivational speaker and blogger who hopes to inspire youth with chronic illnesses such as myself.
Okay, that's great.
So how's everybody feeling today?
Whew. Got my jitters out, kind of on a happy high.
Okay. Not gonna lie, we was definitely like dancing and like, oh my god, countdown, oh my god, 10 minutes, oh my god, 10 minutes.
How about you, Trinity?
I'm good. You know, it's been a very eventful day, but
Very.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay, that's great. That's
Naya.
great. I can say today, honestly, Trinity took the words right out of my mouth. Today has definitely been a eventful day. Earlier, we had a interview with MTV or WJZ, both of them. Well, yeah, both of them. And we were discussing our youth summit coming up in May and June. So that was something.
Also, can y'all please join the Canva? The code is XXFB72TK. So y'all can actually be with us and comment your opinions. Thank y'all. And before we get started, let's also thank Yard, Youth as a Resource, as one of our sponsors for the Wellness Wednesday series.
Thank you. Yes, they have been a big support. So let's get into what's the day.
And we're going to do a March recap. With the March recap, we have the BYIC Summer Job Event, which was so much fun. We met Jaleel down there with Inferno. And
y'all, Jaleel is a character. We went him on the show one day. He's probably, hopefully Jaleel's watching this, because if he is Jaleel, you will be on here ASAP, quicker than quick. So
yes, he gave energy of one of our friends,
Sean.
Yes.
Why didn't you just say his name?
Who's about to? But I got sentimental.
He probably watching like Kendra. We got beef. What you gotta say about that? Nothing. Right.
Oh, better not be matching. That's all I know.
Okay. Trinity, how you feel today? Psych, already asked you. Kendra, what was your favorite part about the events that we went at?
My favorite part of the events, right? My favorite part was eating.
Really?
Yes. We got pizza for the BIY summer job event, and for the B360 event, right? We had lemon honey Old Bay wings, right? With some fries, and then we got some frozen yogurt from a truck. What was your favorite part?
Not gonna lie, I crashed my mother's funnel cake. Like, I went over there. We were supposed to be working. I just thought my mom, like, what's this? Where'd you get this from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I want some of this. So she gave me her funnel cake, and I literally just went to the other table with it, and I was surprised she let me have the whole thing because it was a hefty amount left. Not gonna lie, that was not my favorite part though. The dirt bike was like, I only been on dirt bike one other time, and when I got on that dirt bike, I'm sorry to the man, but I was holding him like he was a teddy bear. Like, I was scared. It's been a minute. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I was on a dirt bike was with my cousin, and I was like 8. So it's been a minute. Not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, Trinity, you volunteered with us for these events. So how did you feel about it?
Honestly, both events were very fun, very eventful. Got to meet new people. I also rode on dirt bike, but mine was the first time. And I was definitely squeezing that man. And, he probably not watched this, but if you ever see this, I'm sorry. But, you popped that wheelie, and I wasn't trying to fall off. Really.
Oh, my God. I'm not going to lie, Trinity. Even though I was holding him like a teddy bear, I wanted him to pop that wheelie. I wanted him to pop that wheelie. I was sad he did not pop that wheelie, but I think he popped that wheelie. Good thing he didn't. Yeah. So I think that was really my favorite. I mean, yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. It wasn't my favorite. Sorry. Navigating stressors. Y'all probably like, what do you mean navigating stressors? Like, I've never heard of navigating my stressors. But we'll get into that later on today about what that really is.
That's what the episode's about today.
Yes. And as you guys already know, we have our special host right here. Special. Trinity, raise your hand. Trinity, raise your hand.
Very special.
Oh my God, Trinity. Oh my God. So, besides that, if you guys didn't know, it is National Awareness Month. And that means we just spread awareness and we make sure that we vocalize the impact that stress has on our brain, because a lot of people don't know what stress do to our body and our mind. So meditation, I'm not gonna lie. I remember meditation from my grandmother and my mom. I remember when they had the mats. Now, I'm not going to say it was on a Sunday because that's when they cleaned up. It was really just randomly. I would hear just, they tell everybody to go to their rooms for a little bit. And when I came downstairs to get something to drink, all I know is I saw a mat, some more tunes playing. It would never be no words. It would be some instruments. It would be some beats or something like that. And they would just be sitting there. And I would definitely watch, like, do they know I'm right here? Like, I'm just see if, like, how they react when they see me looking at them for so long, because what are they doing, I never really fully understood what meditation is, but
My people didn't do that.
for real?
No, my people, if we were sent away, we knew that even if we were sent away or we were asleep, once we heard that music, they are cleaning. They're not doing no meditation. You heard that like 90s R&B came on, and they about to start get to working. And if they see you, or if that room not clean, you gotta help. You gotta help.
I think I ain't going to speak on them. But I think everybody can relate to them hefty Sundays when our parents made us say, oh, you gotta come back home from your friend's house. You at your cousin's house, you gotta come back home from your cousin's house. It's clean out day. That's the only thing we're doing today. Y'all remember that? Yeah. Okay.
My cleanup days were Saturdays. As soon as my mama cut off that music, I knew what time it was. Get up and clean time. But meditating, I tried it in the past. I don't know. I can't never get my mind to relax the way people do. Like, my mind got constant thoughts running through it. So meditation never really worked for me. But journaling out thoughts, definitely a vibe, definitely helped. Because, you're just brainstorming and putting it all down on paper, and it's out your mind. At that point, it's on the paper.
Exactly.
Oh, you said brainstorming? You know what I said? We definitely got to do poetry. She does her little journaling. I'll do my poetry. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all definitely inspired and sparked my drive to want to get into writing and journaling more. Because I already, can talk to myself and figure it out for myself. But I feel like even seeing things out on paper, like vision boards, that's something to do. That's a great way to spark your motivation. So I feel like poetry and journaling is a good highlight. But meditation, let me tell you the exact definition of it, because we definitely just said some of the highlights of it. But it's a practice that involves training the mind to focus and achieve the state of calmness and awareness. So you're making your mind just mute everything around you, your surroundings, and you're reducing the distractions to tap into your mind and yourself. So, what do y'all think of that? Right? That's what we have. That's what everybody.
If I'm on a calm day, okay, calm day.
Oh, okay.
That hyper day, I can't.
So we hear that Kendra needs to do some more meditation.
Maybe.
Basically. But y'all know what cortisol is?
What is cortisol?
Y'all know what it is?
No.
Okay. Basically, it's AKA the stress hormone, and it's produced by the adrenal glands, which are located at the top of our kidneys. And a lot of us don't know, and I didn't even know until I looked up the definition. It plays a crucial role. I knew it was something in our it affects something in our brain, but I didn't know how much it can affect our body. And it triggers something called your flight or flight. Fight or flight, right?
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight. Okay, there we go. Fight or flight. And that's prepping the body and the mind based on something that's scary, or that has you anxious, and that boosts your heart rate and your blood pressure and things like that.
When you said this word, I swear I'm not the only one. It kind of looked like you were about to say control in a different language. French, Spanish, Italian, something.
I thought the little screaming thing that said help and the lady stressing, and then the girl got her head on the table and then it's on the red. That's all the signals of something is wrong.
I don't know. When I saw that word cortisol, I thought of the stuff you put in the car. What?
What? That is crazy work. I'm not even gonna lie. That's crazy work. But I'm gonna let you guys see a video that breaks it down. What the cortisol, how does stress affect cortisol and what that does to your brain and body.
It comes out
Kendra.
Technical difficulties.
Pause. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, we was dancing early. What was that song called?
Are you sleeping restlessly, feeling irritable or moody, forgetting little things, and feeling overwhelmed and isolated? Don't worry, we've all been there. You're probably just stressed out. Stress isn't always a bad thing. It can be handy for a burst of extra energy and focus, like when you're playing a competitive sport or have to speak in public. But when it's continuous, the kind most of us face day in and day out, it actually begins to change your brain. Chronic stress, like being overworked or having arguments at home, can affect brain size, its structure, and how it functions, right down to the level of your. Stress begins with something called the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, a series of interactions between endocrine glands in the brain and on the kidney, which controls your body's reaction to stress. When your brain detects a stressful situation, your HPA axis is instantly activated and releases a hormone called cortisol, which primes your body for instant action. But high levels of cortisol over long periods of time wreak havoc on your brain. For example, chronic stress increases the activity level and number of neural connections in the amygdala, your brain's fear center. And as levels of cortisol rise, electric signals in your hippocampus, the part of the brain associated with learning, memories, and stress control, deteriorate. The hippocampus also inhibits the activity of the HPA axis, so when it weakens, so does your ability to control your stress. That's not all, though. Cortisol.
Well, the video just do what I did.
Y'all saw that? It said it literally shrinks your brain.
That explains a lot.
Like, so if you are not in control of your stress, it will trigger something to release a hormone that shrinks your brain. That sounds crazy. I did not know that cortisol could do all of that just because you are not regulating and being structured. Like, that's crazy work.
It makes me think about like how the fact that like regular people, like you get stressed out, the cortisol starts flowing, so your body starts acting up. But those are little signs that like, you know, certain places or people are not good for you or your energy. But then it also makes me think about like how it affects people with chronic illnesses because they're constantly stressed out over their health or doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So it's like they're always having those levels of cortisol thrown at them, and it makes their body feel worse as they're going throughout time. So like they have to like balance all that out and release all that stress.
I really thought like, okay, it kind of caught me slacking a little bit. Lacking a little bit, especially because I was biting my nail and then the video started biting their nail. And I was like, hold up, why they do me like that? But I also agree. That's why most of the time I have my little stress toys so I could fidget with and all that because my anxiety be real bad. And that with my anxiety being bad, it'll lead to my stress, which causes me I don't really want to do anything, or I'll like overthink something for a long time and not even want to do anything.
I feel like a lot of us can relate, and we don't even know. Like it's the little tedious things and little experiences. They may be in a different form, but it just shows how everything kind of ties in together, and we can relate to each other. Because, not gonna lie, my anxiety sometimes be up the roof, and it sometimes happens when I'm like about to go do a big speech or I'm about to walk in a big room of people that I'm not familiar with, you know what I mean? And kind of what you said, the overthinking, and it just happens sometimes. And if you're not aware of what triggers that, it could do exactly what the video just stated. Shrink our brain.
Right.
It get devious, like, you know,
And
I control that.
Think about how important it is to talk about stress among youth. Like that is a very important topic, and we should discuss like why it's such an important topic because you know stress is like such a critical issue, and it becomes like it can lead to different causes and different reactions and effects like panic attacks, chronic illness. You know, we got self-harm and suicide, trigger warning for anybody who's, you know, sensitive to those topics. And if it's not addressed successfully, those things could potentially happen over time. And it's has like the approach to stress has to be very effective, so that way it helps prevent those negative outcomes like being overstressed and, you know, having thoughts of like not wanting to be here, like not wanting to deal with that stress anymore. Like you gotta tackle those things.
I agree.
That's why a lot of times when it comes to like youth stress, which we also do have a little Sleeto, which y'all can answer why y'all find it is important for why is it an important topic for youth stress? Because we know y'all also have opinions, and we're not the only ones that are sharing.
Exactly. We want to relate to y'all as well in the audience. We want to hear what it is that you guys think about that video we just watched, and what's your opinion, and if you guys knew what cortisol was or not. Because if not, it's okay, because I didn't know what it was. I had to do more research to figure out what it does and in effect. So we're going to discuss why youth stress is an important topic. So Trinity, can you tell us?
Like I said, it can cause many issues, like you know, self-harm.
Did you just say that? You did. I'm sorry.
Overthinking. But I mean, if you want me to talk about like
Kendra just messed me up. Kendra just messed me up. She acted like you didn't just say that. Okay.
I mean,
Next, Kendra.
It can be. I'm sorry because I'm just watching like, yeah, she definitely did.
Like, why did you just?
It could be basically the thing that makes me stress is sometimes, no offense to my boss, going to work or like deciding, let me clean up this real quick. Sometimes my friends be stressing me out. Like this one friend, she invisible.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But I love her. It's an inside joke, but I love her because she really be irky.
Bro, I don't know. I think you should say the name. Not gonna lie.
Jaden?
your friend stresses you out.
Yeah.
I hope Jaden's
my
in the
invisible friend
comments.
Jaden.
I hope Jaden's in the comments. Not gonna lie. But okay. Now, ready for the next slide. Okay, here we go. Thank you very much. Now, let's get into National Stress Awareness Month. So, aware and managing stress versus can you identify your stressors? A lot of us can't. This is why we're having this live podcast session today, because a lot of us don't know how to navigate our stressors or even point out what they are, and those are what triggers us, you know, to get to that point. Yeah. Okay. I'm waiting for the link to pop up.
For the trigger warning bullying, we're gonna watch that now because that is example. Bullying is part of stress. Thank you. I am hilarious. I knew that.
I zoom past other cars.
That's crazy word. What's happening?
On that video, basically, it causes like as y'all can see, they went after one person for like they bullied that boy, and he had nobody defending him. He literally looked like he was being provoked. Everybody is ganging up on this one person, and as y'all see, he literally fell down, and everybody came and then just started hitting. It called and the reason why we have bullying like a bullying video on there is because it causes stress by you don't want to go to school, you can barely sleep at night, you're thinking about that, you're like really feel like really down for your self-esteem. What y'all think though?
Honestly, like we can't really tell much from the video of like what occurred or what happened. Like we just see, the two boys in the beginning, they're getting into it, and then that's when everybody else jumps in. But like I know bullying plays like a big role in stress. It's the reason why most kids don't want to go to school. And it's like when you've had too much stress, sometimes you just go off. Sometimes, like you just crash out. And we gotta like limit the crash outs nowadays.
Do we gotta limit the crash outs or just like be careful who we crash out on?
I feel like you limit the stress, you limit the crash outs.
That made more sense to me.
Okay.
I don't know what type of time kids is going, but we're not gonna be like that today or in the future. I'm not gonna lie. That video, it's not nothing different from what I see. Like when I was in high school, I'm not gonna lie, it was the same. Like I'm not gonna lie, you wouldn't see nobody like cornering a person, but you would see people getting jumped. Like you would see people getting jumped or ganked or a big brawl in school and no administrators breaking it up, no nothing. Like half of the time, administrators be cool with us and they don't do nothing. So,
thank you, Steve.
It's more necessary to control the crash outs, I think.
Thank you, Steve.
You're on the wrong side. You're on the wrong side.
Yo, Kendra is basically saying she's a mini crash out and we gotta keep an eye on her. She's the people we're trying to change and break the stigmas. We are trying to change people like her. So good thing we have a model.
So true. Kendra's a true hoot.
All right.
I don't crash out though.
So a lot of us don't know. Self-regulation and self-awareness are two completely different things. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a victim of the same thing. I know what self-regulation is and self-awareness is, but I don't know how they like are different. But I found out after doing my research that self-regulation is basically being in control of your behaviors and your thoughts and your feelings and impulses. But self-awareness is being able to understand your emotions, your thoughts, and others around you. So that's a part of like social awareness as well. So, did y'all hear that?
No, I thought they were the same thing. Sorry.
Stop that.
I mean, I didn't think they was the same thing. Like I knew self-awareness was like being aware of why you do what you do, really.
Okay.
Like why you think the way you think, why you act the way you act, and like noticing the negative patterns you gotta change. Self-regulation though, for me is like I always thought of it as like being able to balance out like everything you're doing. Like you got that equal regulation going on, it's not anything that's like too out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm. And if you know how to regulate your emotions, right, control them. I feel like, which I think the first step is, right? The first step is all. I feel like this is the obvious question. Never mind. Being self-aware. You have to be self-aware first to identify what it is that's stressing you out before you're able to control them, right?
Yes.
And if you're able to control them, you're able to strengthen your cortisol because now you're not only self-aware, you're socially aware, and you're observant. You know what I mean? You're able to keep your emotions and everything in line.
Right. Like when I don't have my coffee and I'm tired, I know I'm self-aware to go get that coffee.
Shouldn't that count as a substance? I'm confused. Shouldn't that count as a I don't know. That sounds like a
It's not proven
me,
yet.
bro. That sounds like a substance.
It's not proven yet.
I think I've seen like a couple percentages. I did.
I
did. I've seen a couple percentages. But Kayla said something about high school normalizing violence. Heavy on it. Even middle schoolers. Like I'm not going. My little brother, he's in middle school. He's going through the same thing. Like he's going through what I've seen people go through, and it's crazy because it's shocking how much support they don't get in school when they're trying to do the right thing or prevent something from happening. You know what I mean? Because not everybody's going to keep taking things. Like people break at some point, right? And if there's no prevention being done, why not be Kendra and crash out? You know?
Whoa, we're not using me as an example.
I'm not saying do Like, this is how people think.
My thing is, I feel like it also plays a role with teachers. Like, you're allowing the students to keep bullying people, keep doing that negative thing. Like, why would the student come to you for help if you're allowing it to happen in your classroom?
You buddy with my aunt, so you think I'm ready to come snitch to you that they doing something to me, dead? Like, you know what I mean? That's how it go. And the administrators know that's how it go. And then the parents be looking like, well, tell your teacher. And we looking like the teacher's not doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Actually, y'all do know that some teachers don't. Whatever. I agree with Kayla. That's the school environment. Other students in your ear promoting and engaging on fighting and things like that. But did y'all know that teachers won't, like, most of them won't engage in fights because they can literally get fired from that because they accidentally hurt a child. Like, they're trying to make sure that they're careful also.
I don't know. The teachers and homeowners in my school, they used to just pick up the child and walk away. Like, just pick them up, keep pushing, get away from the other child. Somebody separate the other child.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is one thing I want to speak on, but I won't dive too much, like, deep into the situation because I don't know too much about it. There was just, rest in peace to soul, there was just a shooting at a school, Lansdowne. And my thing is, how did the boy make it out the school to run from him and then the man is still chasing him? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there should have been police around. Where is the police? There should have been more intervention done, like, to help prevent that. You know what I mean? And then not only just that, my little cousin, her school was just on lockdown because there was an intruder. So it's just like the environment at school is not safe. So why would the kids want to come to school and be as active, right? Exactly. Right. So I want to look at some of the percentages of what stress does to, the percentages of stress, like what it does, like how it causes people to do, the unfortunate things like, self-harm and far deeper down the lanes of things like that. I think it was like 875,000 cases of work-related stress, depression, and anxiety. Like, that's crazy. And it says 49% of them were accounted for depression, anxiety, and stress, and 54 were for ill health cases. That's crazy. So that means we're not even taking care and prioritizing our mental and then our physical. Like, that's crazy.
But you gotta realize also, this generation, they're trying to also push past what, no offense to any adults watching, but some of what the adults taught us to, because a lot of them didn't go for any therapy. They didn't really go for stress. They didn't believe in it as much because their parents. So we're trying to move past that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, now that I had to, pull up some stats and show y'all the percentages because it's real out here. We're not just talking. I feel like people be like, yes, we know stress does this. Like, that's the obvious, but it goes way deeper into it. Like, it's so many triggers and signs that, like, signals to the brain that, want to fight, want to cry, want to break down. Like, you can smell a scent literally and be remembered of those certain memories of where that scent was. Like, I smell a perfume and I think of middle school memories, and I just think that's crazy, So,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, I have a question real quick. What's your favorite color, dude?
My favorite color?
Yeah.
I like a lot of colors, but number one is always blue.
Sky
blue.
Okay. I don't know. Mine's got to be emerald green. What about
Emerald green.
Yeah. All right. Now, what's your favorite hobby, bro?
Favorite hobby? Oh, that's a tough one, But I love reading a good book,
What kind of book?
Don't look at me like that, Sanaya.
Oh, I forgot you be journaling and stuff like that.
Reading books is fun. Like,
what kind of books?
I like adventure novels, romance novels, a little mix of fantasy in there.
Okay, I like the fantasy and romance. It's my type time.
Okay. Now, what about you?
Oh, books?
Yeah.
Oh! I was ready to say chill. Like, too much brain rot. Like, my favorite hobby. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is a hobby right here, bro. I do not do nothing else. Besides being my friends and my family, like, this is my hobby right here, and I think it's fun.
So your hobby is talking like Kendra.
Yes! Clock it! Clock it!
That's being thrown
Clock
at me.
it.
At me.
Clock
Anyway,
it.
that's
My hobby is
messed up.
breaking stigmas. Stop. Talk about
Well,
it.
y'all hobbies be that. My hobby is reading and skating.
Skating.
Bro, you don't know how to skate. Oh,
wait, no, that's Jaden.
roller skate?
That's Jaden.
Okay,
That's
okay.
Jaden.
Oh,
That's Jaden.
okay.
Remember?
Oh, okay. I had to make sure.
What are some ways you all prevent your own crash outs?
Oh, Lord. I gotta listen to music for real.
Yeah, use it.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. My mom has built me to be like so. I'm not gonna say I'm able to regulate. I have my emotions on full control, but I'm able to point out what's triggering me. So if I know, I'm like, bro, I'm able to communicate like you just did this, and it's really making me get like this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm able to say this before I crash out. So I think I'm not confrontational. I'm just expressive. You know what I mean? Like,
Honestly, recognizing like the way you get stressed out is so important. I know one of the ways I recognize when I'm getting stressed out is when I don't want to talk to nobody. And I'm a very social person, so when I feel like I'm shutting down, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm stressed. I take a moment to myself and recoup, relax a little bit, and then go back to being social.
right,
Okay.
right.
How do you regulate your stress, Kendra?
I regulate my stress by my friends. Like I have three, not really my siblings, but three fake brothers. Right? Don't mind how I say that.
That's a lot of teammates.
Anyway, they are my confidant. One of them is named Emotional Support Animal. Another one's named my fake nephew. Like they are my support team. They will listen to anything I say before I crash out. Because if I crash out,
Those won't sound like people, bro.
support animal.
I'm confused. So what you got,
They
like a
approve these
lizard?
things.
And
They
you
approve these
talk to
things.
your lizard
I'm
about
a real brother. See? But okay.
Okay, never mind. Okay. Oh, I know he exists. Like Tom and
You know, animal.
No. They approved these names. Even if they didn't, they stuck with the names. They've been here for 6 years.
I'm not gonna lie though. I feel like when you're as aware as me and you be around a lot of people who aren't as aware as you, it'd be very tempting to like, what is it? To not crash out, you know? So I just don't be around those type of people. Like that's why I say I just be by myself. And I be with y'all. Like y'all
You can crash out like this.
I don't know. That's not my take time to think of. That's enough for you, bro?
No.
Exactly. What he say?
Shout out to Miss Jackie. Wouldn't be here where we are today without her guidance.
Who?
Miss Jackie.
I don't know who that is.
Right.
Sorry, shout out to Miss Jackie, guys. Okay, but Trinity, can you like tell us a little bit more about yourself, especially with some of the topics that we have today?
Well, like I said, I want to inspire youth with chronic illnesses, not just youth, like adults too, because they need the support and stuff too. But I'm like my main focus is youth with chronic illnesses because I was diagnosed with lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and high blood pressure only when I was 13, and I was just entering high school at that time. Because my 14th birthday was 2 weeks later, and it was a very difficult time. I went through like denial, like I didn't want to believe that it was happening. I didn't want to acknowledge it, didn't want to pay attention to it. Went through the depression stage, like why am I going through this? What's wrong with me? Why did it have to be me? Like why couldn't it be anybody else? And I feel like that's a very important thing for you to understand. Like you're not alone, because so many people be like, oh, I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. But if you don't understand what I'm dealing with on an internal level, do you really like feel sorry or understand like what I'm going through? Mm-hmm. So I feel like having that open space for them to realize like there's somebody who's just like you, who's been through that position, who's been through all the emotions, who understands what you're going through. So that way it helps them keep going and, realizing like it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of your life. Yeah, you might be going through things that your friend's not going through, but you're gonna make it through. Like you're a fighter.
Mm-hmm. And heavy on what you said, when people.
I don't get a break, guys.
That was a trigger for her. She was like, crash. Oh no, it was good.
I'll run get back.
I don't want it. I don't want no more. I'm not being nice no more. Y'all see, they're trying to tell me to crash out.
Yo, I'm not
Don't
gonna
be
lie.
nice.
Oh my god, wait, I need to get serious real quick about that. Okay. Speaking on not saying I'm sorry as if like it's your loss or something like that. I told another friend who went through something a little bit similar to, that I told her like, I said, I'm sorry. I said, no, I'm not. Like, I'm happy you're thriving. I'm happy, you know what I mean? You didn't make it who you are, you know what I mean? You just made it part of your experience, and you're still like, you look at her, you wouldn't think she has what she has, and that's what, you know what I mean? That's what matters. People around you telling you that you're still you, no matter what. That's what matters, because once they understand you and what it is that you're going through, they're able to talk your language, right? Same way I told some of my other friends, like, you can't tell a deaf person, open your ears, hear me, you know what I mean? Because they can't hear you know what I mean? That's not their language. You gotta, like, show them whatever's in front of you, you know what I mean? Whatever you want them to hear, or what is it called? When, that they're able to feel it, the word.
The braille.
Yes, the braille, you know what I mean? You speak that language. When a person there's like a person that has blindness, you don't say, look at this, you know what I mean? You describe it. You speak their language. So I'm just trying to make that correlation of like talking accordingly to who you're, you know what I mean? You got to learn the people you're with and what they have. So.
Speaking of stress, though, with this episode, we want to more talk about stressful communication and how it impacts our wellness, like we just were speaking on, but go more into that, because a lot of times in the world, we get our wires crossed and we'll be on our phones. Not everyone's listening. Not everyone is trying to be there because they're on their phones, they're listening to music, or they have so many other things going on. Emily said, yeah, not everyone
Learn the same.
everyone comprehend or learns the same. Some people are visual, and some people are physical, and some people are different in different ways.
Exactly.
You want to explain that more by, you can do simple things where you aren't listening to each other, but you're there. You're actually making eye contact. That's why we have in our next slide about ways to support it. It says how adults can support youth communication, but we can all use it, because with this, ways to fix it are by really listening, being clear with each other, being supportive, being approachable, creating that safe space. Like with the safe space, like I had said, I do have like siblings that aren't my siblings that created a safe space with me where I can share and actually be who I want.
And try to look in the youth perspective. Don't look in your experience perspective, because a lot of adults like to say, this happened with me, I did this, my experience, this, but it's a new generation, a new time. We advanced a little different, we operate way different, we have more access to a bunch of things that's just way different from the generation. What are they called? The bloomers?
Oh, no.
The bloomers?
That's the older people?
That's old.
Boomers? Oh, they're
Yes.
old. What's the generation like our parents' generation?
Well, my parents are boomers.
Millennials!
Yes.
I don't know. I wish we had millennials and they had Gen X. Which one do y'all think something about? Millennials or Gen X? I feel like millennials gives us.
Gen X is the old people. Ain't they?
No, we're Gen X.
No, we're Gen Z.
Yeah.
Because we the last.
And then it goes Alpha after us.
Hold up. I don't know. This is not speaking my language.
Well, communication is.
I think one thing about communication is stress. To always remember no two people are the same, and no two people are gonna think or approach the same way.
Exactly. When they say three brains are better than one, 6 brains are better than three, so on.
Or put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Like perspective. I feel like if hold on, the audience trying to clock me real quick. Let me get out of the door. They come to my head.
We're sorry.
Okay. Oh my God.
What is the best way for each of you to learn?
What is the best way?
How to communicate?
Like communication or like? Well, I think he's asking us that if we learn best communicating or like physical
Communication, physical, like learning.
or like virtually, or I think I'm a hands-on person for sure. I like to be present. I like to see, hear, feel, smell. Like I'm definitely that type of person for sure. Like when we had COVID, you wouldn't think I'm a scholar. You wouldn't think I would have made it to where I made it today. If you go look at them COVID stats, I'm telling you some crucial devious times. It got real.
Understand.
It got real crazy. So, what about validating feelings? I know we can all speak on that. Like, I feel like that's the highlight right there because ain't this what they be saying? They be like, you come home from school, what you do all day? You do nothing all day. What responsibilities you got? Only thing you did today was go to school. What else you did today?
Yo.
And dang, like, bro, how you know I just fought off like 4 bullies? One said my shoes ugly, one said my hair is fake, the other said my earrings fake. Like, I'm just, you know what I mean? And I can't fight them, so it's like, nah. That's why I was like, I just fought them off. I didn't fight physically, but I had to, verbally get some altercations. Like,
I feel like that we should go about validating feelings. Like, I was really feeling like being supportive, and then I was told, don't touch me.
Her language, not physical touch. You gotta learn her needs.
Touch.
She gotta
I
learn
was
her.
communicating with you to not rub my back.
And she could have punched you. She could have
That
punched
wasn't my 13 reason why though.
like she didn't crash out. You touched her. She like, oh, I'm used to this.
Validating feelings is so like needed because I feel like when my mom growing up, my parents growing up, they always said like they never really had like that speaking household like where they really talked about emotions and stuff. So me growing up, I never really I talked about my emotions, but that's because I'm a very empathetic person. Like I'm very emotional. But it took a while before like my parents started expressing their emotions and stuff and getting comfortable to do that. So it's like very hard to have that emotional vulnerability to like validate other people's emotions that you might come to. I'm sorry if I hurt your emotions.
No, I'm not gonna lie, that's true, Trinity, because at a certain point in time, I think around like my middle school COVID year, like I was definitely going through something where I was kind of like my emotions was numb. Meaning, like one of the audience members just said she's happy we're speaking on it, doing a lot of family members are not considerate. I was not like considerate person. I was like closed-minded, and I knew that I was going through hurt and still projecting that, but it just goes to show like I wasn't being considerate, but the people around me, they weren't aware of what I was going through, right? So just like you said, they didn't always have that emotional vulnerability. People around me didn't really have that emotional vulnerability to be like to really help break it down, like what's this. The only people I felt like did that was just like family members and people like that, close ones that really knew me and was able to call me out before I even came to them. You know what I mean? But like I said, when people don't speak your language and they don't know you, they won't know how to operate with you and handle you. So when you have those moments of when you need someone to validate your feelings, some people may look at you like you're insecure or you just all these other things, and you may just need that little bit of reassurance and that you're right. I hear you and what you said makes sense, and all that could do just so much.
That's another reason why you should really listen. Make eye contact when you're talking, guys. Eye contact is big because then you really are paying attention to them. Even if I understand, sometimes you gotta be on your phone to listen. But like repeating back some of the words that they say, like in the conversation and making it say like this. Oh, I see that. Oh, okay, you really went through this, this, and that today. I really understand. They're like, it helps so much more, guys.
I get what you're saying. Like a counselor, right? You're like an example on a counselor. You go to this counselor, you tell this counselor, like, bro, this teacher keep failing me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, even when I'm turning my assignments in, she still just giving me energy like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. And yeah, I'm frustrated, but I'm not being mindful that I'm taking this energy out on that teacher. So my counselor break it down to me. She lets me know, like, okay, so what did you ask her? What did you say? How did she respond? So she said this, you said this. Do you think you should have reacted this way? Because a lot of people, when they're in the moment, they don't realize it came off this way and they reacted this way. And this was the impression that was given, you know? So just like what Kendra says, someone that's helping you break that down and that knows you and can, you know, help remind you about yourself, like, bro, you know, you kind of did scream a little bit at that lady and stuff like that. I'm right, like, you're right, she did make me mad, and like, I shouldn't have screamed, like, maybe that's why she ain't grade my paper on time, like, maybe that's why. So now I know after my counselor broke this down to me, to get my way, my approach with my teacher needs to be different, because she's the one that's gonna have the outcome of what my grade is, you know what I mean? So I gotta play my cards right and move right with this teacher. So.
And I think Kendra made a very good point with like the eye contact when you're listening to somebody. Because having that eye contact shows like respect. Like it shows like you're really there listening. Like if I was sitting here right now just on my phone texting while y'all was talking, like that would feel disrespectful to y'all.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're wasting somebody's time. And like eye contact is so hard to maintain sometimes. Like you get the nerves, you know,
Laugh.
you don't want to look them in the eyes. It's something I use all the time, like help me like look like I'm looking at somebody's eyes, because I look at their nose, because it's like right there, or their eyebrows, it's like right there, and that way you're not making direct eye contact, but at least it looks like you're making eye contact. You're not offending people while you're doing that. For real.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100% with what you're saying. Not gonna lie. We make some great points, and we just talking everything today. Like we just talking everything today. How the audience feeling? Y'all feeling good? How y'all liking the show so far? 1 through 10, give me some ratings. I want to know. I want to see what y'all saying.
Put it in the chat, please. And also, we also have some ways to navigate stressors.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about like how to help manage 1,000 out of 10. Yeah,
That's 100.
oh 100. Yeah, my bad. I added a 0, but you know it should be 1,000.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm not.
So we gonna talk about some ways to help navigate your stressors and help manage stress. So you know you gotta have that resilience. Like you gotta be strong. You gotta like keep building like good habits. Don't give up. Like it gets hard sometimes, but like keep going for real. You gotta control your reactions. Like for me, it's like I had to learn. Like you can't control what other people say. You can't control what they think. You can't control what they do. But you can control how you react to it. And a lot of times, most of the time we get stressed out is because we're reacting to stuff that we shouldn't be reacting to.
And they be wanting us to react, right?
Yeah,
certain people they'll know our triggers, right?
Stress them out. Don't be stressed out.
I got some narcissistic energy. I'm trying to get out.
No response is a response, you guys.
Like, heavy on that. Say one more time.
No response is a response.
You don't gotta go fight that out. Let that out. No, bro. Like,
what are each of your biggest stressors and how do you cope with them?
Oh, wait. Let me get through these points.
Right.
Let me go answer that question.
All right, we're going to get to that question.
We'll come back to you.
Damn, they really trying to fight.
You gotta get comfort. You gotta get uncomfortably, be comfortable for real. Like, you're not just gonna get where you want to be being comfortable. Like, you gotta step out your comfort zone. Like, for example, like exercising for real. If you want to exercise, because exercising helps with stress management.
Hold on, where you going? I thought you said you want to learn how to do a split. I thought you said you want to learn how to do a split for this trip. Like, I'm confused.
Exercise helps, but if you know you have days where you're tired for real and you don't want to get up and do that exercise, but get up and you go because it's not going to be hard all the time.
You don't have to exercise though, guys. Y'all can be like me. Just lay in the bed.
Thank you so
and then you
much,
gotta
Miss Virgo.
Determination, for real. Like, you got to keep going. Like, it's okay to take breaks, take rest, but don't give up. Like, keep going to make that life to live the way that you want to live. Like, build your life the way you want it.
I probably was projecting on Kendra when I said do that split, because the other day I was trying to do a split. Woo! I was to not keep going.
You just got to keep going a little bit.
I kept going though. I said almost.
Y'all
I
ready for the
kept
question?
going.
Yeah,
I had determination.
All right. So for the question that we were given, basically, those some of the ways, like, my biggest stressor is, I would have to say, school right now, being a freshman in college, and some of the ways I would cope with that, I'm going to go see the cherry blossoms, going to brunch, and poetry, big on the poetry, because I love poetry, and I want to one day be able to make poetry and inspire people.
That's a stressor?
One of the ways to cope with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My stressor is college.
Okay.
Go.
So, couple things. Like, what are each of our biggest stressors? Okay. I'm not gonna lie, is getting career organized. Like, that's my biggest stressor. I'm not putting myself inside a box. So my biggest thing is getting structured with each one of my pockets of, the categories of what I want to do, and understand, and this is where I went wrong, understanding everything is a progress, and it does, one step at a time, but if you can juggle 2 steps at a time, you better move both feet. Like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. So how I cope with that, I be with my cousins. Like, sometimes I be low-key trying to distract myself, but my mom makes that thing impossible. So I somehow, like, there's always motivation around me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, my mom is always speaking some motivation of mine. Stepdad is always sending some videos to the group chat that help remind me, like, if you're not tapping into yourself or pouring into yourself, there's always going to be something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you have to build yourself up so you can help the others around you.
Y'all made some good points about, like, biggest stressors. I feel like one of the biggest stresses is probably life itself, because, so many things happening at once. You got school, you got work, trying to build your career. Like, life itself is a stressor, and life ain't easy, for real. But
at least we're thriving. Every one of us
driving, absolute
thriving.
chaos,
Thriving.
We're driving. But you get through with communication, with journaling, taking nature walks, maybe. Like, if it's a nice day outside, go outside and take a little walk and play
That's
with
exercise.
your mind.
And the motto, get 1% better every day. If you could get 5% better, do that. Like, we get, like, I think honestly 5% better each podcast, because there's research we have to do to figure out what is everything that comes into play for our mind, our body, or depending on whatever that topic is. So we're learning these things right along with y'all. We don't know every single thing we're presenting. So,
and every day we learn something new. Like, older people aren't boomers.
yeah.
So we don't get clocked again.
Millennials.
Some of them are good.
Y'all got that name. That's a hard name, not gonna lie.
But we also have upcoming events for y'all. Yes.
Y'all better be there. 12 people was watching this. Then it was 16 people watching this. All of y'all better be at our events. They're free, and it fills your brain with knowledge, so you have no excuses.
If y'all want to be, she's not threatening y'all.
Who said that? Sorry, another catch up.
Anyway, the first thing we want to make sure that y'all know, YouthWorks summer job application is due this Friday for definitely put in the money, because I know we definitely need it.
Y'all want that $2,500?
I definitely need that.
Y'all want that $2,500 for 5 weeks? 5 weeks is nothing for $2,500. You can young.
How old do you gotta be to work at YouthWorks?
Y'all can be right with us.
21.
No.
What?
14 to 21.
Yeah, 14 to 21.
Yeah, 14 to 21 is the
Technically
starting.
13 if you turn 14 by the time program
June.
starts. Yes, June.
And y'all could be up here right with us doing the same thing. Y'all could volunteer for our podcast. Y'all could come and be a host. Y'all could come and speak, or y'all could add any topics y'all want us to discuss and further dive deeper into. You know what I mean? Because like I said, we do our own little research into that topic.
And another event that we have coming up is the Youth Mental Health Summit, which is May 15th through the 16th. Definitely see us there if y'all want to join. It's in Baltimore for all these events. We also have the Care for Spring event, Thursday, 4/17. We might be tired that day and a little bit in a rush, but we definitely will see y'all.
See ya!
Yes.
And then we'll be seeing.
The other event that we have with, by the way, our team is going to be at all these events, is the Youth in Person. Our in-person podcast is the 30th, the 5th through, the 30th, 5 p.m. through 7:30 p.m. at the Gallery for Nothing. This is the...
And shout out to them. Look at this art, y'all. Y'all could come and do a sip and paint and drop y'all kids off in the area downstairs while they paint. And it's called the
Gallery for About Nothing.
And it's in Baltimore City. So look it up and come support. And it's Black owned. So come support.
But definitely try to come to our in-person podcast episode, which we'll have a game night and you'll actually see us perform live.
And really quickly, our Youth Mental Health Summit is May 15th. It says May 15th to the 16th, but it's only to May 15th.
I apologize.
Okay.
And then we also have the Youth and Family Wellness Summit coming this June, date determined.
Everybody better be there. Y'all gonna see me reposting it up, down, left, right, northwest, east, south. Like I'm not gonna stop.
Y'all can see us, talk to us, ask questions, and also take pictures if y'all want.
And learn knowledge. Fill your brain. Not only will you get free food at the event, but you'll be taking food home for your brain. So clock it.
We also have some resources for y'all. Like the Maryland Health Crisis. Call 988. Call 988 for the Maryland Health Crisis. We have food, shelter, and other resources. Call 211. Call 211. Naughty Team and Young Adult Line. Text friend to 62640. 62640. And for other resources, check out www.sicausa.com.
And thank you guys so much for tuning into our podcast. We have fun and we hope you guys had fun watching us.
Thank you so much.
And don't be shy in them comments. Drop down some topics y'all want the youth, because it won't just be us all the time, to speak about what y'all feel is important as well, because we want to hear from y'all.
And thank you so much, Trinity, for joining us today.
Thank you,
Trinity. Make sure y'all show up at them events though, because I will be there.
Ooh,
I'll be looking out.
she said she want to see y'all there.
Yep.
You want to see them there?
Yeah, I want to see them there.
Like,
Make sure y'all show up.
All right, bye.
Bye.